New Plan B rules on working from home and masks announced for England. People in England are being asked to work from home again, if possible, and face masks will be compulsory in most public places as part of new rules to limit the spread of Omicron. COVID passes will also be needed to get into nightclubs and large venues from next week. Boris Johnson announced the government was moving to its backup plan of extra COVID rules at a news conference. "It's not a lockdown, it's Plan B," the Prime Minister said. He said moving to the tougher measures was the proportionate and responsible thing to do. Mr. Johnson said more is still being learned about new variant Omicron and the picture might get better, but that it could lead to a big rise in hospitalisations and therefore sadly in deaths. He said the new variant was growing much faster than Delta, and early analysis suggested cases could be doubling every 2.5 to 3 days. From Friday, face masks will be required in more public settings, including theaters and cinemas. From Monday, people will be asked to work from home where possible. From Wednesday, the NHS COVID pass will also be required for visitors to nightclubs, indoor unseated venues with more than 500 people, unseated outdoor venues with more than 4,000 people, and any event with more than 10,000 people. The NHS COVID pass crashed hours after the PM's announcement, with users unable to download their domestic or travel passes. NHS Digital said it was investigating the issue as a priority. Mr. Johnson said Christmas parties and nativity plays should still go ahead as long as the guidance is followed. "The best way to ensure we all have a Christmas as close to normal as possible is to get on with Plan B," he said. Irritating though it may be, it is not a lockdown. Ministers have repeatedly said there are no plans for another lockdown in England. Many of the questions the PM faced centered on the row over the Downing Street Christmas party at the height of lockdown rules last December. Government advisor Allegra Stratton, who was seen with other Number 10 staff joking about the party in a leaked video from last year, resigned just before the news conference, saying she would always regret her remarks. Earlier, Mr. Johnson apologized in the Commons for this video, although he said that he had been repeatedly told there had been no party. The Metropolitan Police has now said they will not investigate the issue due to lack of evidence. The Prime Minister denied that the Plan B announcement was timed to divert attention from the Christmas party, saying the government did not want to delay bringing in the rules designed to protect public health. There are currently 568 confirmed cases of Omicron in the UK, figures show, although the UK Health Security Agency estimates that the true number of infections is about 20 times higher and probably closer to 10,000. Other nations of the UK, which are in charge of their own COVID rules, have already brought in stricter restrictions similar to Plan B. People in Wales and Scotland have already been told to work from home where possible, and Northern Ireland recently strengthened its advice. COVID passes are also currently required for venues in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. In England, people will be exempt from showing their COVID passport when attending religious worship, weddings, and funerals. Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon urged people to follow the rules, adding, "Even if you feel angry with a politician just now, please remember just how important compliance is for the health and safety of you, your loved ones and the country." Sir Patrick Vallance, the government's chief scientific advisor, also urged people to comply. "It only works if we all do it," he said. The measures introduced are not about stopping the spread of Omicron or even reducing the number of cases. Instead, it is about slowing the spread. The big concern is a huge surge of cases that leads to a wave of hospital admissions that could overwhelm the NHS. There are suggestions Omicron is leading to milder illness. There is logic in that, as reinfections or infections after vaccination are less likely to lead to serious illness. But if infections rise quickly enough, there is still the risk of hospital cases rising. A variant that causes half the amount of serious illness will lead to more people ending up in hospital if infection rates more than double. So the hope is that these measures will flatten and delay the peak. That will allow more boosters to go into arms, and the evidence that is emerging on vaccine effectiveness against the new variant suggests that will make new Plan B rules on working from home and masks announced for